Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Greetings,
Welcome to Game
Internets.
Club. It's a game club.
It's a Patch Video Game Book Club.
Every time I ask for a theme song, and we never have a theme song.
We just made a theme song, Ryan.
Oh, okay.
I just
Is that
started
all we
singing The
got?
Hustle.
I wasn't ready.
Look, it's a start. It's a start.
Okay.
Songwriting doesn't
You gotta
happen
build from
overnight.
somewhere.
Right.
There's some auto-tune that happens, and then it's
Right.
all, got it.
This is going to be the shortest episode of Patch Game Club.
Maybe not the shortest.
We have deep things to talk
We're
about.
gonna make
We
it
have angry
short.
things to talk about. So
Angry
we played
things to talk
angry
about.
things. So much anger. So we played Ori and the Blind Forest, which is a game that came out earlier this year from Moon Studios. It's a side-scrolling. It's a platformer.
Puzzle,
It's Metroidvania.
platformer.
It's a strong
Shooter?
Metroidvania.
It's got a little bit of shooter in it.
Oh.
Not really.
In that it's open world exploration. Really, I consider it to be an unforgiving platformer, not necessarily like Super Meat Boy pixel.
Unforgiving?
Perfect.
Come on.
Are you
got
serious?
like 17 locomotion options. Like, I can triple jump if you buy that ability.
Guess who bought
You
the
got
triple
the
jump?
dash, you got wall grab, you got
No
the...
big deal, girl.
But no, for it's
They've
it's
got
tough,
so
though.
many they get redundant. They've got the let's wall jump, and then there's like
Then
I'm
the
tired of
climb?
wall jumping. Now I'll just grab the wall and just hold it and then climb up it.
When I went from getting the wall jump to the climb, I was like, oh, so nice. Because the wall jump, I'm always like, you jump up and you go. Eh.
Well, it took me a while to reprogram. Like I kept jumping, even though I could just grab it and then climb up the wall. I was like jump, jump, jump. Oh wait, I don't have to do that
gotta
anymore.
slow
I
down.
didn't have that a lot. I have to give this game credit for the way that it paces out the new navigation mechanics. I never have enough time with a mechanic to get fully bored of it before the next one comes and bitch slaps me across the face and says like, master this.
I love how it's like it's not helpful. It's just hurtful.
It's
Just
mostly
comes in and
hurtful.
slaps you, just rocks
Slaps
your
you.
world.
I mean, it's nice because it means that you can get to new areas of the map that you couldn't get to before, but you're never not mastering something.
It's true.
And it asks you to do it really quick sometimes.
And well, I mean, getting around in that game, which is, I mean, 90% of that game is just getting from A to B. I mean, it's good. Let's go over there and hop up on the thing. There's enemies along the way, but the fighting in the game is just hammer on the X button and they will go away.
It is. What area? So in the game there are three. I don't want to call them branches. There are three different paths you can progress through. You can progress
okay,
through
yeah.
one that gives you more life and navigation options, like the triple jump. There's one that will double the amount of health that health orbs give you and energy and so on and so forth, and help make it easier to get pickups. There's the combat path that
Right.
makes you a much better fighter. What path did you go down?
I did all of them.
What path did you
This-
go down first?
I went down the first path I went down. I did like 3 of the combat ones just to make combat a little bit faster. Not because combat isn't really difficult. It's shoot and you don't aim or anything. You just hit the X button and your little orb fires its flame at the enemy if it's close enough. But so I did a few of those just to make that go faster, and then I tried to focus on getting to the triple jump and getting to the option where there's one of the later abilities that reveals secrets. And shows where everything is on the map because I just wanted to get all that stuff.
That seems like that path to me, that middle path seems to me like the completionist path. Making
really
it
is,
so
yeah.
that it's like you can see all the stuff that you're supposed to be collecting.
I wish I'd
Yeah.
done it faster though because I missed several things in areas I couldn't
Oh,
go
and
back
then
to.
like had to go back. Or
Well, you
couldn't
can't,
go back.
yeah.
Right, once you pass.
There are definitely missable things in this game where you get locked off from an area and just can't go back in.
And I
sucks.
get it because like part of the story, right, is that
Mm-hmm.
like you go like the world is open, but then you go into the dungeon, you solve the dungeon's problems. You know, you sit down, you have a nice chat over coffee, you get things worked out, and then that's it. You can't go back to that spot. It actually makes me upset that they put stuff in there that you can miss and not have a chance at
Go
again.
back to.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that a little bit. That doesn't happen too much nowadays with like the kind of screws you over. I don't know. I guess I have that nostalgia of like, oh, the game screwed me over. How neat, you know? I went for where I remember I didn't get to play a ton of the game, but I did spec for improved health. Because you just get your, like, it's not hard at the beginning while you're learning, but you just, like, you can take, what, like 3 hits and then you die in the
Oh my
beginning.
God.
It's like, I was like, I'm way too fragile in this world. This sucks.
You're pretty squishy to begin with. Yeah, so you spend a lot of time collecting life orbs. I guess, honestly, we should probably back up a second and just talk about the larger part of the game is, well, one, the aesthetic of it. It's really difficult to talk about this game without the aesthetic because it's just so pretty.
It's gorgeous, and the sound design, between the sound design and the graphics, you just want to stare at it all day and love it. In fact, I'd been playing Ori and the Blind Forest before I played Child of Light, and so those two are where I actually made a lot of assumptions about Child of Light based on my gameplay experience with Ori because of the way they look. They're actually a pretty different style, but up the same alley. They seem like art as opposed to they seem like something rendered. It's like painting.
Yeah,
so pretty.
it really isn't.
Also talk about when talking about the style of the game, the emotional roller coaster.
Oh my god,
that is this game. Like there are they're not few and far between nowadays, but I feel like there are very few games that make you cry in the first. Like they give you the up treatment where you cry in the first
Last
15
of Us.
minutes. Yes.
This is very much like The Last of Us. Like welcome to the game. Now cry.
Yeah.
And you do. You can't help it. Did you cry, Ryan?
I didn't cry. I could have. I came closer to crying.
But as a parent, doesn't
I
it
know.
just hit you in the gut?
That's
Wait,
the thing.
so let's
Hang
talk
on.
about Last of Us then.
Yeah, no, Last of Us was
Did
rough
you cry
too.
in Last of Us?
I didn't in that.
Oh.
I don't really cry that often. I almost did though, and it's funny because I came closer to crying when I started playing the game. My wife Laurie was there with me, and so she was watching through the first part of it and the whole sad part.
Did she cry?
She didn't.
You
What
both
is with
have
you
dead
guys?
souls.
She was kind of
Well, I
intermittently
will say,
paying
I didn't
attention. She
cry
wasn't
either.
really 100% committed
I
at
didn't
that
cry
point.
at the beginning, but it's Ashley's fault because Ashley was like, "You're gonna cry," so I was like prepared, like I had my armor on.
Plus, we keep talking about the crying. We didn't say why. So, at the
Right.
very
Yes.
beginning, you're kind of like an orphan's light child
Right,
that
you
falls
get
to Earth.
you get blown out of your tree and
Right.
you come to Earth in the forest and you get adopted by his name's Naru.
Naru,
I
yes.
can never remember his name.
He's like
They
Totoro.
only say it like once.
He's like Totoro to me.
He is,
He's
yeah.
like squishy and big. He's like no face Totoro.
I thought of him as
He is.
Baloo
It's like
from
if they-
kind of from Jungle Book.
yeah.
Yeah, he definitely like
Squishy
fills
man.
that role,
Mm-hmm.
and then
And they
The
build a
forest
life, and
dies.
it's like, yeah, well, there's a whole sequence where you kind of see their life together, and they build this.
they seem so happy. They're building
this
bridges
life
and collecting
and-
apples, and
But
they're
then
having such a
slowly
great time.
the forest starts to die.
And it's dying because partially because Ori got blown away,
Mm-hmm.
and so it dies, and then Naru takes the apple, the last apple, and he gives it to Ori, and then he dies.
Well, the saddest part is when Ori's like, "Wake up, Mom." It's very like Littlefoot in Land Before Time, where he's like, "Come on, Mom," and you're like, "She's dead." It was very bad.
I've started this game like 4 or 5 times now because I ended up starting it again last night because I wanted to stream the first bit of it for everyone on Twitch. By the way, we try and stream most of our Game Club games for a little while on the Rooster Teeth Twitch channel. So if you want to follow that, you'll get all of our streams. So I started it over again. The first time I played the game, the very, very first time, it was full waterworks. I was sitting in the chair. I don't know, maybe I'd had an emotional day. I'm not sure. But I was sitting in the chair and it was full waterworks, like the hiccuping, like gross, like snorting kind of crying. I was just in there like
Well, you know,
I was completely unashamed too because I was alone in the house. Like Brittany wasn't gonna see me being completely ridiculous,
let it
so I
all
could just
out.
like let it go.
out.
Last night I got it down to like maybe 4 or 5 tears and a little bit of sniffling and like a wipe here or there.
Well,
I'm making progress.
the funny thing
I'm getting
is,
hard.
you are, yeah, you're really
Real
toughing
hard.
up.
Yeah.
Later in the game, he comes back to life. So
Yeah, that's what
we're
we
having
were
this
talking
reaction
about
to
at
something
the
that's
end.
like, you know, later on he's gonna be fine. Like,
Well,
he
that's the
gets
hope.
up.
We
That's-
don't know that.
But that's like the driving, for me, that was one of the driving forces early in the game, like the early motivations was, maybe I can save him. Like maybe I'm gonna make it all better. Everything's gonna be great. We're gonna be a family again. And it's like that was what drove me through the early part of the game before my next motivation became this game's not gonna beat me. It's not gonna beat me. No, I will get through this.
Well, to complete that arc though. So he comes back to life through your actions. You start to resurrect the forest, and then one of the friends you meet along the way goes and finds Naru and brings him back to life. Yeah, that's another really touching moment because he's sacrificing one of the last artifacts from his culture to resurrect Naru.
Which was the moment that got you?
Well, what got me was not so much. I played through the whole game, and then there at the end. So Ori is
Again, reminder, full spoiler
Yeah, this is
show.
full
We're going to
spoiler.
talk about the ending.
Which also as part and parcel of this, we should talk about the primary villain of the game, which is the
Fucking owl.
You say fucking owl, like it's got such a good motivation. Like you
Right.
can't be mad at the owl. The owl is just trying to. It had like 3 young little owlets. What do they call those?
Baby owls.
Let's call them baby
Eye
owls.
hooks, whatever. They were in its little nest, and then when the big mother tree tried to call back Ori, it somehow ended up killing the 3 little baby owls.
Right.
And
so he's heartbroken
I get it.
too.
I get it. But don't kill Ori.
All the best villains just operate from a place of hurt, which I really think is a larger lesson about people who hate on other people. They all just operate from a place of hurt.
They're just saying that deep down I hurt.
Yeah, so I want you.
And I want to share that pain with everyone.
Right.
All you motherfuckers.
It's true.
It is true.
The
So that
end-
was good motivation.
The
for
end
the
was a great
villain.
redemption for the
Yeah.
owl,
Yes.
too, I thought.
And in the end, so the final confrontation between Ori and the owl, right as Ori is going to do the last step to save the tree, the owl catches him and crushes him in its claw and throws him down, which is when, of course, Naru comes up and finds Ori beaten and broken and picks him up and holds him. And that reminds the owl about love and the one remaining egg it has.
Which
So it
is
takes-
about to go up in flames
Which is
because
about
of
to
the
burn.
fire that the owl started.
So the
owl's
owl
fault.
grabs the orb that's the last step of saving the forest and flies it back and restores it to the tree, which is how it started this whole thing. The owl ripped that orb out of the tree, causing the death of the tree and all the events that followed. So it returns it and in the process is destroyed by the explosion of power. Which that tree is really mean,
Self-sacrifice.
by the way. For
Yeah.
the super tree that keeps everything in charge, all of its abilities seem to be related to killing owls. It does a lot of that.
Again, can you blame the owl?
Right. I mean, it seems like it's actually
We should
persecuted
blame-
in this
Yeah,
situation.
we should blame the tree.
Really, yeah. The
Jerk
tree needs to
tree.
look into its effects on the environment. But so here's the question, though. So Naru picks up Ori. Ori's broken and crushed. Then it goes into the kind of the epilogue, and you see Naru is
That Naru adopted the egg.
and Naru adopted the egg. You see kind of the land being restored. You see 2 little Ori creatures playing together. You never see Ori and Naru together again.
Right. So did Ori die?
No. No, Ori did not die. Ori did not go through all that shit to die.
Ori
is totally fine.
He's crushed. He never moves
Right.
after he's been crushed. You never see him and Naru together again. And Naru has a huge case of empty nest syndrome that he fills with an actual egg.
Totally disagree. I thought when you see there's a little Ori sitting on a log. I assumed that was my Ori, but then there was another Ori being born.
Got an Ori
At no
friend.
point did I assume that the one on the log was not my Ori.
That's definitely the happy way.
I love it,
to
yeah.
walk away from it.
It's mine. You're mine. There's like an Ori that's like, get off me. Who are you? I love you. Naru's just real creepy. That's the thing we don't know about Naru. Yeah, Naru just like takes animals and they're like, don't touch me.
Tell me
It's like,
about the
"I love
rabbits,
you."
George.
Yeah, exactly. Naru just touches them, squeezes them too hard. So we like the game.
Yes.
That's
I really
awesome.
liked it. It's the combat is not really the combat gets a little old after a while because it's just jump out of the way and keep hitting the X button, or you got a couple other options like an air dash where you can bounce off projectiles and things like that. But combat does definitely start to wear on you after a certain amount of time. But the game is just gorgeous and fun.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that keeps it fresh is the platforming puzzles and the new mechanics that you have to master to get through everything. The monsters, like, you go through all the different areas and there might be like slight variations, but mostly they're
Just harder versions of the same thing.
yeah.
Also, there's some really tough achievements if you're a completionist. There's a
Oh my
don't
God.
die.
Yeah.
There's a don't use any ability points at all. And then there's a less than
Help
3
be
hours.
squishy the
Yeah.
whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Those
you can
achievements,
pick up health and more energy cells. Just don't apply any ability points.
those achievements can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
By the time I got through the end of the Ginso tree, which by the way, that is looking at the little bug. Little bug.
Yeah, and there are those 3 spots where you have just an escape with no saves. You have to make it through an entire escape sequence, which is not short.
They're not short and they're horrifically unforgiving. You know, like the Ginso tree, I thought was the worst one. That's the one that I hear everyone else bitch about too. So at least I feel like I'm not alone. But that one, by the time I finished Ginso tree, I had 439 deaths on my save.
Good lord.
And I think that at least 200 of those are from that sequence.
It's crazy.
Because you have to, like, you master this new ability to be able to launch yourself off of things, like use enemy projectiles or the enemies themselves to launch yourself in a direction. You have to immediately master that and then get through some of the hardest jumping puzzles I've seen at lightning speed without any mess ups whatsoever. While the water's chasing you, like one misstep and you drown. And then you have to start the whole thing over. I was so mad that I kept stopping the game and going and doing like email and work and stuff because that was relaxing in comparison.
See, I started a lesson. I was going to try a less than 3 hour no death run, and I was feeling pretty good about it, but not anymore. You just made me feel sad again.
Aww.
There are ways you can kind of work around it. You can copy save files. You have multiple save slots. You have a lot of save slots. There's like 12, 13. And you can copy them too. So as long as you have a save slot that has no deaths on it, you're fine. You can just keep copying it. And if you die, you just reload that one. There's also backups for every save slot. I didn't notice that till too late. Also, I beat the game by accident.
What?
I had one more ability to unlock, and I would have had the combat tree and the all utility or all abilities unlocked achievements, and I missed it. And you can't go back.
Sucks.
Once you complete the game, warning now, you can't use the backup saves anymore. It locks them.
Really?
Yep.
Sucks. I once got screwed like that on a Shadowrun. There's an achievement for running across a lake, and once you open the lake, it drains the lake. Oh my god, ew!
Oh! Take that, life! Fuck you!
You're like the tree.
Ow, that hurt. I hurt
You know what?
myself.
Fuck my Shadowrun story. Let's pick a game.
Oh.
Ow. I think I broke a finger on that fly.
Did you? How'd you
break
do
a
that?
finger?
I suspect it was
Look
the
at this,
ring.
we've
that
got
was
like
part of the
a-
problem.
Let's notice the nice smooth entrance this time around.
Literally the
There's no
exact
clink,
same.
clunk, chunk.
But it's a smooth entrance, like, you know.
It's on a track this time.
All right, let's pick a game.
All right,
Pick a game.
spin the wheel. Here comes a game.
Did somebody put my new game in there?
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's
Yes.
100%
Yeah.
possible. Here we go.
This week we're going to play Contrast.
Contrast.
What is
All
that?
right.
It's a...
We're playing
The mic's
Contrast if
back
you
over
can't
there.
hear Ashley playing Contrast.
All right, next week we're going to play Contrast. It's on PS4, and let me look up the other platforms. But in the meantime, Ori, play
Cylinder
it.
of selection.
Bye. Yes.
Play it, happy?
Play it.
Ori, yes, absolutely. It's definitely got some replayability, especially if you're one of those speedrunners or completionists. And it's just fun and pretty. The way the world all interacts together is amazing. They really didn't skimp on the details. Like when things happen, like explosions or things like that, everything around you kind of moves and reacts and flexes. It's just very pretty.
Yeah, I wish that sometimes I wish there was an easy mode. But this is a weird game for me in that in spite of how angry I get at it, I don't want to stop playing it. And that says a lot. I think
Right.
it's amazing.
Tell me about Contrast because I've never heard of it.
Okay, Contrast is it's a puzzle-based platform-style video game. It's on Windows, PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, so it's all over the place. You can definitely play it. It's a puzzle game, but you move between like the world and like being a shadow.
Yeah, I want to say
So
it
I'm
was-
gonna read the gameplay summary here really quick from Wikipedia. The game set in a noir atmosphere. The player must solve puzzles that require movement between the physical world, which is represented as 3D, and shadows, which are represented as 2D. The player may sometimes manipulate different light sources in the 3D world to create the shadow paths to reach new areas.
Is this where you're a boy looking for a girl, and it's raining in the trailer? Is this that game?
No.
Okay, maybe not.
I
wanna
played a
say-
little bit of this on PS4 when it came out, but I never finished it.
I think it was a launch title for PS4. It may have been like PSN,
It was.
one of the early PSN free games on PS4.
Yeah, it came out November 2013.
We should start a new thing on Patch Game Club where we play the trailer when we announce which game we're gonna do. Then we
Oh,
can
that'd
all
be
watch
smart.
it and
We'd
be
have
like,
to have them all
"Ooh."
queued up though.
That's true.
Maybe not. I think you could Google Contrast, like if we're talking about what platforms it's on. Whatever. This is not a production meeting for
True.
Patch Game Club.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just
Hey.
solve all the problems right
So-
now. Let's hash it out.
So next week we'll play that.
Yes.
In the meantime,
I won't be here, but you guys have fun.
Nobody's gonna miss you.
Oh,
where are you gonna be?
Not me.
I'm gonna be in Germany.
Germany.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Have fun in Germany.
Thanks.
lots of beer.
And,
Apparently no one will miss me. Oh.
And for everybody except for Ryan, we'll see you next week on the Game Club.
Bye.